Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Highland Woods Golf and Country Club located in sunny Southwest Florida in Bonita Springs. And this is my very first course design for 2K21, PGA Tour 2K21, and it was also imported to 2K23, so it is now playable. But we're going to do a little flyby here and show you the course, show you what I worked on. Spent about 40 hours-ish designing the course. Did it mostly from memory. Had an old scorecard to gather yardage and gathered a few pictures to jog the memory online. Actually played this golf course the very first year it opened back in the 90s. My family moved to Florida and my dad got us a membership here. And so we were inaugural season members. And that was through the mid 90s. And then in 2008, I actually worked on the golf course from 2008 till about 2012. So I got to do some play time there as well. So we're just going to go to a fly through the course, show you what we made out here, and talk about some of the things I learned editing my first course. So we're coming up the driveway here, and here is the clubhouse, parking lot, the pool. Used to swim back in there when I was a little tyke. Probably about short sleeves age back then. At the clubhouse, parking lot. Had an aqua range. That was new to me in the 90s. Never hit a ball into a water before. But that was pretty cool. Something cool to see. I went in from an aerial view and put in all the water features. That was one of the first things I did. And then made some hole layouts. So we got number one here. And we'll go to number two. Number two, you start to see the, well, I guess you see condos on number one as well. So you see condos again on number two. I like the way it came out. It plays, kind of gives you the feel like you're out there. There were some mistakes that were made, but for the most part, it gives you the feel like you're out there in Bonita Springs playing Highland Woods. Sneak over to three here. Another par four. And I believe the maintenance shack and everything was back here. I put the little fence in, but I didn't put any of the buildings and stuff in. Like I said, it's kind of like slowly running out. I took a couple of liberties, throwing in a few trees that weren't necessarily out there on the golf course, but I thought it looked good. I also learned later on that I could add multiple objects at the same time, which helped out a lot. Could have probably done a little better job. You come into 4 and 5 back-to-back par threes. This is a marshy land here. I would have liked to have a little bit more marshy looking land. And then this closed off. I believe there is a couple little condos right out in here, but I didn't squeeze those in. You don't really see them until you're on the cart path, really. Then number 5, another little par 3 over the lake. Putting these retaining walls in was a chore, quite a challenge. I wish I would have had a little bit better shape on the lake, but doing it for the first time, it's super tough to get water that close to the playing surface. Come to our first par 5, number 6. You definitely see those condos. I think they were mostly one stories. I think they're actually single family homes, to be honest, but I kind of already had those laid out in there, just using from what I used for the other holes to look like the condos, so I ended up just leaving them. But this is a pretty good representation of this hole. Maybe a little bit, the woods maybe sneak up a little bit closer to the cart path there, but if you are hitting a good shot, you can clear this trap and possibly go for it in 2. This palm tree I know sticks out there a little bit. That was something cool I added in. I did put all the yardage from the actual course tips. I put it on the second tees, just because you hit the ball so much further in the game than you probably do in real life, at least some of us. The white tees are the exact yardage for the tips on the real golf course in real life. So we finished par 5, kind of comes over this lake. Some of the greens when I was first starting out, are very large, which doesn't really represent. Some of the greens are big out there, but a little bit bigger than I would have liked to hope. I kind of start toning those down probably after this hole. Kind of figured that out as I went, but it was a lot of work to resize and start over and reshape, so left that. Number 7, kind of heading back in towards the clubhouse here. We had this like big oak tree that kind of hangs over the. It might be up just a little bit farther. It might have been like right up in here, but I kind of wanted it to play into the tee shot because you can. It does kind of like hang out there a little bit. So you're over the lake on your drive if you're playing from the tips. If not, it doesn't really affect you too much. The water. You got a couple of nice bunkers out here, and then again, firing into the green. This lake kind of little different shape, but what I could do to put this big retaining wall in, you definitely see it when you're playing in the hole. I would have liked to shape it a little different, maybe bring it a little closer to the green, but that's what we could work with. And then we're gonna head back towards the clubhouse here. There's the good look at the pro shop landing area for the carts, bag drop. It's pretty cool. Little turn shack, get your hot dogs. There's the pool. There's the clubhouse. It's got a nice little patio. And then you go swing around to 8 here. 8 is another hole. You got tons of these palm fronds. I ended up using some ferns as well to kind of fill in. But in real life, those are all like palm fronds. Just eat your ball up. It's gone. You just don't want to go in there. In 21, this is cool. This pine tree it has this branch that hangs off between the top branch and the bottom, or the branch that hangs off in the top part of the tree. And if you can lace your drive right in between there and cut this bunker off, you might have a shot for going for it in 2. You can easily run this fairway if you hit a big long straight drive and you don't cut it off, especially if you're not playing from the tips. So you can run into that bunker, run off into the rough. I think this hole plays very similar to the real life number 8. So, but if you can lace your drive right in between that low hanging branch and the top tree, I think in 23 it actually kind of cut that out, which kind of sucks. But that's like a real life feature. Who knows? The branch might have fallen down in real life by now. Anyway, so maybe it just knew. Anyway, nice part 5, and then we swing into number 9. Originally, this big bunker area, I think this actually turns into cart path here, and then they use it for multi-purpose. These pink flowers I kind of added just for my own flair take on the hole. It was just kind of signify, hey, you're heading back into the clubhouse. This is 9. Those are not necessarily there in real life. So we got nice, big, tough par 4 here. This green runs off right towards the clubhouse. You can run a ball out very easily. I think originally these were 9 and 18 were a combined green. But I think they ended up doing away with that later on when they did one of the first course remodels. But I believe this was a double green here originally. And all the plants and stuff, some of this I struggled a little bit on for memory and only could use what I could for pictures. So I know you definitely can see the greens from the clubhouse because I actually, like I said, back in 2008, I worked in the restaurant there. And while we're here, I'll show you that I wanted to add in these 2 dumpsters, a couple picnic tables. This is where the waiter, food runner, food and beverage staff used to hang out. But this is the little back patio, trash can area for the clubhouse. This is where we parked our cars. So 10 swings back, you go past the turn shack again, slide out here to 10. Open up the back 9 with a par 5. A little shot over the lake can come into play if you're not careful. Pretty long, fairly wide, fairly easy. You can make birdie here pretty easy. Straight ahead hole. 11, little par 4. Again, these woods are a little denser over here. These trees might not be exactly right, but something like that. There's like a little couple sets of trees down this side, a few condos and or single family homes on the right. Number 12, another little par 4. I feel like this green was elevated. I feel like you play up to it. I tried to kind of capture that there. In the game, it might have been a little steep, but we did what we could. This is a little par 3 here, and there is a ton of palm fronds everywhere. When you're down in, this does give a decent representation of the hole. There's just a ton of vegetation on this hole, and you can lose a ball real quick. So you really want to hit the green, or at least this landing area. There's a little fairway landing area right in front of the green, so you definitely want to hit that. That's 13. It feels like you're in the palm frond forest for sure. Slide over 14. 14 kind of comes back towards the clubhouse and then follows the road in. And this is just when you're playing on this hole, you think pine trees, pine trees, pine trees on the left. It's a big, dense pine tree forest all down the left. Again, I had to remove a few of them, but I did feel like this captured the essence of 14. Got a little pine tree that kind of hangs out here. It's really pretty tight landing area. If you hit a good drive here and you're looking straight ahead back at the hole, you can capitalize on this hole, but you can definitely get in some trouble pretty quickly. That's 14. The pine tree forest definitely feels like that when you're out there. This is one spot here. I believe 15 is actually on this side of the street. But again, as I was making it, in the layout, kind of ran out of room. But I believe this like turn shack, it's not a turn shack, it's a bathroom slash lightning shack or storm shack. I believe that is kind of more over on this side, and then the par 3's here, 15. But I ended up, space-wise, ended up having to put it on this side of the street. So I think that is something that's kind of off from the actual real golf course. First time editing, and we had to figure all that out. You don't really notice it when you're actually playing the game because you don't cross the street or go down the cart path or whatever. It doesn't really affect the gameplay. I just know it's there. Little par 3, open area to hit towards the green and everything, but then again, it feels real dense. You're kind of back in the woods. I think this is some of the pine tree forest area that comes off of 14. Felt like it was a decent lot of traps out there. And then 16, little par 4, kind of down the side with the lake. And I believe this is the one that actually first crosses the road. You can kind of see from the range, lake comes into play here. Little dog leg right. The weeping willows, I just kind of added as a touch. I needed something to fill right there. I couldn't remember exactly. I don't think there's a lot of weeping willows out there on the course, but it just felt right for the game. So I tossed it in there. Kind of covers the hole. Dog legging in the right. Pretty decent little green here. And we'll move on to 17, the last par 5. So 17 is a big, long, straight hole, plays down through the lake. There's a lot of forest and stuff on your right-hand side. But I put in what I could to give it that feel. And big par 5. Yeah, straightaway hole. Got a few bunkers out there that can give you a little trouble. And then crazy. This is one of the bigger greens. It is a double tier, 2 or 3 tier green. And I kind of tried to make this, give it a little liberty of gameplay so you could run your ball off into that big trap. So it might not be as extreme in real life, but took editor's liberty on making it play and feel something like that in the game. So, and then we're going to winding cart path back to 18. Again, added the flowers just to signify that you're headed to the clubhouse is the end of the round. But 18 and 9 are 2 tough par 4s, probably two of the toughest par 4s out in the golf course. This is pretty long par 4. Got some bunkers that might come into play. This one doesn't run off the back, but this one kind of runs off the front a little bit more. And that's it, Highland Woods, man. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the flyby overview of the golf course. Hope you guys are going to enjoy playing it out there on 2K21-23. It is up and live and published, so get out there, check it out. Oh, I put in the driving range. Like I said, this is my dad worked out there for 10 years, but he worked out there for 10, 15 years. So that's his golf cart there, and put a golf bag on for him. So it's pretty cool. He loved working out on the golf course, man. He loved golf. So I got 9 holes, 9 bag drops for all the people in our family out there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I learned a lot. I had a lot of fun making it. It was a cool experience, and I look forward to actually producing some more golf courses. It was a fun, exciting experience. I really enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed playing it. And we'll catch you in the next one. That's Highland Woods, guys. Bonita Springs, Florida.